Hello, everybody. Welcome to Tabletop Shenanigans. This is Nicholas Wynn.
Matthew Essington.
And Felipe.
Brock is out of the building today, so it'll be just us three, but that's okay. You love us just the same.
We love you, Alex.
Yeah, you better.
Yeah, honestly. Well, what's the first subject for today, Matt?
Well, I figured that we could go ahead and start out talking about the new Psychic Awakening, the first book that is released in the series called The Phoenix Rising.
Ooh, what's in it?
Well, it's 80 pages, which is important to talk about because it's a pretty thick book. It's got lots of stuff. It's going to have all kinds of background. It's kind of starting out.
Mind you, sorry to cut you off. It's important that it's 80 pages. All right, continue. The content, not important. What it's about, not important.
Nope.
But it's 80 pages.
It is. So in case you guys are wondering, it is 80 pages. And it's going to go into the background. It's all about this first one, the Ynnari, Drakari, and Craft Worlds. So it's going to cover all three of those factions. It's going to come out with some pretty awesome stuff like missions. Everybody likes narrative missions. It's also going to expand upon the rules for existing Craft World and Drakari, and then I believe some special rules and expanding the army for Ynnari as well.
So is this kind of like what they're kind of heavily doing with Space Marines, to where they just kind of want you to build your own craft world and then... No,
not quite. No, it's just.
We tried.
Yeah, it's all right. It seems like the rules on this one are going to be new psychic disciplines. So you're going to get some more psychic spells.
Oh, good. More psychic spells for Eldar.
Psychic spells for Eldar.
Eldar spells.
Thank you.
Hey, Matt, you want to tell everybody how many psychers you're running in your last or in your most current Eldar list?
Just 8 psychers.
Just 8.
Just 8 psychers.
Just 8.
Oh, actually, sorry. It's going to be 10 because I forgot the Hemlocks are technically psychers.
God,
so 10 psychers. Anyhow, regardless of the shenanigans, it's going to have, like I was saying, new psychic abilities, specifically for the Craft Worlds, and I believe new psychic abilities for Ynnari. It's also going to have new rules for, of course, the Howling Banshees and the Incubi. It's also going to have new extended rules for the...
There's just so much new that we're shook.
Yeah,
we're just shook.
There's a lot in this book. But it's going to have new stuff for the Exarchs, of each of the different...
What's an Exarch? As you can tell, again, for 3 weeks in a row now, we know nothing about Eldar.
It's just all Xenos nonsense to me.
Honestly.
So an Exarch is a sergeant of a squad.
So you're telling me each Exarch gets a psychic power? Or is that what you're trying to
Is
tell
it kind of like
no,
a Thousand
ability.
Suns?
Oh, okay.
No, they're not psychers.
Oh, God, they're just running around, smite.
No, so like some of them are, say, for instance, the Exarch to a...
You got me lost, Matt. Matt's looking for words right now. He's struggling.
I am struggling today. Dire Avengers. There we go. That's the word I'm looking for. So the Exarch to the Dire Avenger, as long as he's alive, he has a 3-up invulnerable save. Just something little like that. But each squad gets that. It's
3-up
just
invuln?
not the whole squad, just the Exarch.
Okay.
So you'd have to take wounds on the Exarch first. It's like having your Exarch or having one Storm Shield in a squad, essentially, is a better way to put it for all of you Imperium.
Deathwatch style.
What are you talking about, Matt? You have at least 10 Imperium armies.
I do have.
Don't come at me.
I do have 10 Imperium armies, but that's regardless of the fact.
There's a whole video about you talking about Roboot Gilliman.
I do love Gilliman, and I do think Gilliman is still king. Always.
Oh, yeah?
Yes, Gilliman is still king. He still has the power to kill a knight in one swing.
I mean, sure, you're correct, but little known secret that we're gonna reveal for the podcast. I had a Castellan knight kill Gilliman, specifically Matt's Gilliman, in Overwatch.
That
no
happened.
Revival, no nothing.
That did happen.
Does Gilliman still see quite a bit of tournament play, or is he kind of like not as much anymore?
I don't know that anybody's playing Ultramarine in tournaments right now with...
I mean, I know that everybody's like Iron Hands, but even on the Ultramarine lists, do they still bring Bobby G?
No. I haven't seen any.
What?
I would say yes. Why not?
I went to a tournament. I believe it was the 16th. No, the weekend of whatever last weekend was. I don't remember.
Okay, go ahead.
Not the last weekend that just came up, but like 2 weekends ago.
Mm-hmm.
I went to a tournament down at a local game store, and I played against a Ultramarines player. It was just like 30 Primaris. Now, I was like, oh man, that's a lot of intercessors. I don't care about that. But let me tell you, intercessors do some real work. I don't really think they need Guilliman.
Well, Bobby G is now just equivalent of like, a chapter master and then a lieutenant. And
No, not even remote. It's
I mean,
so
I
much
know,
better.
I know that his daddy's sword is like the best sword and everything.
It's just it's all of the other buffs that he's giving too. It's not just that. He also has a 12-inch bubble of reroll 1. So he's reroll all within 6, reroll 1s within 12.
Yeah. Call has a reroll bubble of everything of 9 inches.
Oh, okay, yeah, okay. Only in the shooting phase, not Overwatch.
It is Overwatch. No, it's both. All right, subscribers, prove him wrong. Post the rulings down below in the comments section. I can reroll all my hit rolls in Overwatch because I can. Because it says in the Overwatch phase, it says you treat it like the shooting phase, except you don't have modifiers on except on a 6. So I do get my rerolls.
I don't think so, but it's okay.
I think so.
We'll table that for now. We'll come back to this in a little bit. And
Speaking more about like Primaris and all that other stuff, what did you guys think of those the infiltrators and the new kit that they're coming out to where it's
from the not Blackstone Fortress, the
Shadow Spear. They originally debuted in Shadow Spear, but now they got like a separate option that you can build them to where their bolters are a little bit different.
I think they're nice because they have a 12-inch denial, which is really important because even though deep striking is still not the best thing, it still happens quite a bit. Everyone still brings deep strikers, just it's not as heavily needed as it was like maybe last edition or so. That's really important because if you want to keep your characters alive, you just put them in that 12-inch bubble, and now they are safe. And that's why I think those squads are actually really nice. Because they keep you safe from deep strikers, and on top of that, it's just like you get another turn. Like basically, your opponents have to wait another turn, and they're gonna be like, "Okay, well, I kill your character." And in most cases, they won't even get a chance to kill that character because you can't attack. You can't charge someone from outside 12 inches.
This is true.
My main problem though is that they feel a little bit overpriced for what they do in terms of points.
If like a squad of 5 of them is 110 points.
Yeah,
Isn't that
so
how much a squad of 5 Primaris Marines is?
No.
Primaris are 85 points for 5.
85.
85
and they have
points.
bolters that are AP -1, whereas the new ones, they either automatically wound on 6s or they don't take modifiers against flyers.
Stock. And this is from Battle Scribe. Stock. Incursus Squad is 95 points for 5 models. Infiltrator Squad is 110 points for 5 models.
What kind of gun rifles do they have?
The infiltrators have they wound when you on a hit roll of 6, they automatically wound, and the incursors don't take modifiers for shooting units with fly.
Fly and
They also have an option where you can spend extra points and I think get some kind of a landmine that you place on the table and anything.
Haywire mines are great. Those are great.
Yeah, but I mean, it's not like I can't just avoid it later.
yeah, it just feels incredibly gimmicky and too expensive. Like for all of these, like they're nice. Like the 12-inch deep strike denial thing is nice, but it's just like. Just screen your units better.
Yeah, for 110 points, I could bring 2 extra squads of scouts and have them be outside of my deployment zone,
They're
also
tiny.
screening.
They're tiny.
Scouts?
I don't like tactical Marines.
They're not tactical Marines. They're scouts.
They're
even smaller.
tiny. Yeah. Just imagine that. Imagine if you want to talk about power creep, we can talk about power creep. Not even power creep, model creep. Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Yeah. Scouts are tiny. I hate them. But like the new Eliminators, I think they would make great scout replacements. Like,
oh, absolutely. I love the Eliminator.
They're great.
They're
models.
great. Their weapon options, I mean, originally they were absolutely useless whenever their weapons were like strength 4, and everything in the game is either toughness 4 or higher. And whenever you're just winning on 4s or 5s, they just weren't worth it. But now that they're strength 5 weapons, you're winning most things on a 4 up. So I think that they got a lot better, and especially that other weapon that they got, the last cannon thing, like slightly weaker last cannons.
That's not worth it though.
I think it's another cool option though. They have good options, and they're not very expensive.
55 points, or 45 or 55 points for a squad of 3. I remember because I'm taking them. Yeah, they're very cheap. 9 of them is like 200 points.
Stock eliminator squads, I believe.
But not very expensive.
No, with just the bolt snipers and everything, with the most stock
55
stuff.
points, right?
72 points.
Wow.
Yeah, way off of the points
Yes,
there.
way
55 points is a scout squad.
Mm-hmm.
Scout squad's 55 points for 5 of them.
I think they're very well priced. But yeah, back to those incursors and infiltrators for their little gimmicky things. Not worth it.
Well, I know it's so weird that they hit flyers on their regular to hit modifiers. Why would they be shooting bolt guns into a flyer?
Exactly. Exactly.
Well, yeah.
Is that the hemlock? All right, boys, open fire! And you see all these
Seriously.
pings of shots hitting.
The incursors actually are kind of good at melee, though. Anytime you resolve an attack roll on an unmodified hit roll of a 6, you get an additional hit. So not an additional attack, but an additional hit.
That still seems a little bit unreliable. I'd rather just take Reavers at that point, because you then are guaranteed the additional attacks, and you're able to deep strike them. I'd rather just take Reavers, and Reavers are not very viable options. They're great in kill team.
Yeah, but these are also a troop choice,
Yeah, true.
which makes them a little bit more useful. And they can deploy outside of 9 inches. So they can deploy anywhere outside of 9 inches from an opponent or another model on the table.
It's really nice, yeah. I actually really like that. I like how they kind of replaced deep striking with the scout moves. I kind of like that because deep striking, you couldn't do anything about it. You either had to screen or you just died. But with these scout moves, I kind of like them because you can move them across the board, and they do so many things. They can block characters. They can do. They can pinpoint locations like, hey, if you enter this area, I'm going to shoot you. Like, it just gives you so much more tactical viability that I really did not like at the beginning of 8th edition.
Yeah, that new Dreadnought with that ability is pretty sweet.
Right.
You could do some real shenanigans with
Right,
that
but
thing.
it used to be, oh, my opponent's deep striking. All right, I guess I'm going to castle up and that's it. Like, I'll castle up, he'll deep strike and fail. Now I'm going to turn behind, which is, I guess, kind of good for my opponent that I'm going to turn behind. But at the same time, it's not very, like, tactically, it's not very fun to fight against.
No, armies that castle up are boring to fight. Like, all the fights that I've had against Iron Hands have been incredibly one-sided because, I brought very assaulty lists and everything, and all they did was just castle up. And then, I would get one executioner down to like 3 or 4 wounds, and then they would just pour everything into healing it up, and then your last turn was basically irrelevant. I hate armies that castle up.
I agree. And that's why I think that's the problem with Tau right now is their lists aren't bad. Like, the Triptide list is great.
Oh, yeah.
I just don't like castling armies. Like, even I myself, I play AdMech. I tend not to castle up. I play a very mobile army. Sorry. There was
Tau, you
there
could
was
still
some-
make Tau very assaulty, though, and it could
got it.
still be viable.
Oh, you can take the 8.
Oh, my God. Talk about, like, the most incredibly...
Oh, right. We forgot the button. Just for you guys, we got the button. Matt's calling me out on my shenanigans.
I don't castle up.
I don't. I don't.
You see what happened was...
But yeah, back to the point I was trying to make. It's not very fun playing against castling armies.
No.
It's just not.
No.
Like, you don't move. You take forever to shoot. And then you pass the turn. Like, where's the fun of that?
Yeah, exactly. It's just not fun at all. Even whenever I play Deathwatch, I never castle up. I do have a portion of it that's castle up, but then I try to move around the board as much as I can.
But when you're playing ITC and you're
Oh, I
trying
know.
to win, I mean, sometimes you just gotta
That's fine.
play how your army's gonna play best.
That's fine. It's just, I feel like every time I play against Tau, their only solution is to castle up. Like that, they don't even think about any other ways they could play the game. But I just feel like that's how Tau players in general play. Like,
I've had Tau for a long time, And I don't think I've ever one time built a Tau castle. I like playing with suits
you can
and moving,
absolutely do an assault Tau list, and it actually is viable. I've played around quite a bit with it, and I could see it actually working out pretty well. It's just what I've noticed with ITC stuff is like people just stick with the one thing that works, and they rarely ever deviate from it.
Well,
I mean,
that's the point of it working. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Oh, but it's boring. It's boring to just see Tau flyer, or I'm sorry, see Eldar flyer lists all the time.
Don't Tau ignore the penalty to hit, moving, and shooting?
You can.
Yeah, with you have to pay points for it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just think it's so boring watching Riptide stay in the same location for 6 rounds, and then me just pinging them slowly. Like, okay, well, next turn I'll kill maybe another drone or 2, and then maybe I'll do 1 damage to this Tau suit. I don't know. I just feel like they could be much more tactical with Fire Warriors and such, because these lists are bringing like 90 Fire Warriors that just stand there in a straight line, back to back to back to back.
In their defense, in the lore, that is basically how Tau fight their wars. It's just like, there's that great meme where it's just like, what do you call a Tau commander that lets Space Marines into melee? A dead one.
Is that a Tau meme or is that a Space Marine meme?
Probably either or, but
It goes both ways.
it goes both ways.
I remember there was this one meme I saw. It was a bunch of dead guardsmen with a Tau guy holding, I guess I don't know what Tau swords look like. It was a Tau.
A katana?
Yeah. And it was so funny because it's like, you all joked about Tau melee, and it was like, dude, you killed a guardsman. Like, I'm not impressed.
Yep, that's not the.
Did I say Tau guardsman? I meant Imperial guardsman.
It's okay. We know what you meant.
So whenever you guys have gone up against like competitive, like in ITC Tau castle list, what do you guys do? What are your strategies to deal with it?
Just start shooting. I always, if there's a Tau list, obviously they generally are going to have the drones
24
hidden.
drones.
A billion
trip
drones.
tides,
Yeah, they'll have the drones hidden on a first floor of a building so you can't shoot them. If you have any indirect fire, you lob all of it at the drones directly, because that's the best way to kill drones, is shoot them directly. If they don't have that, then I just start shooting. I pick one Riptide and I just start laying into it. Hope he rolls a couple 1s and a couple sneak through that he has to take on his invuln. Otherwise, you just keep firing and make him sacrifice as many drones as possible, and then hope some of the drones die to morale. So turn 2, you can take out the Riptides.
It's just so annoying because the Riptide can get a 3-up invuln. That is just so ridiculous.
But only one of them effectively is going to have a 3-up invuln, because he's probably going to do his Nova Charge on the weapons for the other 2, branch one of them. So whichever one he branches, just don't shoot that one for that turn.
I know. It's so obnoxious they get a 3-up invuln on top of all the other stuff they get.
Yeah, it's cost CP, and it also costs their ability to shoot better if they decide to go that route.
Yeah, honestly, it depends. Like Matt said, if the drones are in cover, then I just shoot the Riptide. Because, well, it depends. I'll usually pour all my fire. I haven't actually gone up against Tau with my new list because it has 3 of those Scorpius Dune Crawlers, or the Scorpius the
little
new
spider
grab
crabs?
tanks. No. So AdMech, along with the Impulsor, got a new vehicle too.
Oh yeah, the World War II style, like little landing craft.
It's actually really nice because it has a gun that shoots indirectly.
Oh.
So all 3 of mine have the indirect fire. So I can shoot 33 shots from each one of them. That's like minimum 9 shots into a squad of drones, and hopefully take them out, and then shoot the Riptide.
I find it hilarious that drones have to take morale. That makes 0 sense, but sure.
Like Guardsmen don't take morale all the time. You know, if you fail, what was it that was kind of funky about the Guardsmen? If you fail the morale test, you don't have a choice. You have to roll a D3. Not many guardsmen die no matter what, right? Isn't that how that works?
No. So you have an option. It's called like summary execution.
Oh yes.
If you happen to have a commissar standing nearby, you can instead just, if you fail a morale, you can just kill a single guardsman and then re-roll the morale test. But the one that was executed doesn't count towards morale. It stays the same as it was.
I love it. That's so
But wasn't it kind of broken when it first came out? Something was wrong with it.
There is a stratagem for one command point where instead of rolling a D6 for morale, you can make it a D3 for morale. So say if you know on a D6 you're more than likely going to lose the majority of the squad or what's left of it, you can spend 1 CP. Instead of spending 2 to auto pass morale, you can spend 1 and make it just a D3 roll, most likely reducing the fact that you're going to lose any, if not just 1 or 2 guardsmen.
The orcs have a similar thing too. I think it's called like bashing skulls or something like that.
Yeah, but the problem with orcs is they don't care about morale.
No, they don't.
If they're within another squad of orc boys, because then they'll always have 30 morale.
Yeah, they always have 30 morale. You're not breaking 30 morale, really. Unless if you're playing Eldar and you start throwing shenanigans and drop their leadership.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
By
Matt has a dumb list that makes you, minus 18 or 12 to leadership? What was it? It was something
It's not that high. It's like minus 7 or 6 to leadership.
Oh, only minus 7 leadership.
And then you do a mind war with your warlord having 10 leadership, and then just take mortal wounds between the difference. That's it.
It's the stupidest thing ever.
It is a little stupid, but what are you gonna do?
Right. Honestly.
Speaking of what's stupid, shall we talk about the new salamander stuff and how they just became, or how I am now saying that everybody's going to be switching their black Primaris models to green Primaris models?
No one's gonna do that.
I don't see that. I still think that Iron Hands is going to be
the best.
Just simply more competitive because they're going to be more consistent. Now, Salamanders did get a lot of shenanigans, and I'm excited for the shenanigans. I just want 5 aggressors with flamers that get maximum number of shots, so 120 shots, and then spend a little CP, and they do mortal wounds on 4s. So I'm more than likely going to do 60 mortal wounds to somebody's Warlord Titan and kill it.
I think the problem is you have to remember the fact that you have to get there first.
That's what my impulsor's for.
Have you seen the rules of the impulsor? Those things are actually pretty durable.
I took one down in 1 turn. Not even 1 turn, my first shooting.
Oh my god. Okay.
You don't understand. They have a 6-up save against Cavern Destroyer.
Did they bring up the 4-up invuln shield thing?
Oh no, I'm not talking about the new, not the impulse. I'm talking about the repulsor.
Oh, the repulsor.
Yeah, the repulsor can hold 10, so I can put 5 flamers in there.
But no, that's exactly what I'm talking about. Impulsors don't have an invuln save.
Yeah, you gotta play defensively. Don't sit it right in the front where it's gonna get shot. Give it better targets to shoot at.
Exactly.
But you have 10 guys in there. They're going to be in the front
5
line.
guys.
Okay, but they're going to be on the front line either way.
I don't care if it's turn 3 when I have to reach whatever I'm going to kill.
I think you do, though.
No, I don't.
I'm going to shoot the tank no matter what.
Well, that's fine. You can shoot the tank.
I'm not going to let 5 idiots with flamethrowers flame my dudes in the back.
Yeah. But that's the thing. That's the glory. That's just say 300 points, 400 points of your list is that. That's just for fun. The rest of the list is still pretty competitive. I mean, I watched a game the other day with the Salamanders. Their innate ability where they ignore AP -1 weapons is pretty insane.
That's pretty nice, yeah.
You're talking about playing with Primaris. You have 2 wounds each. And all of a sudden, if your opponent brought a whole bunch of AP -1 weaponry, which normally really starts messing up Space Marines. When you start making 4-up armor saves, you're done. But now you're in cover, and your opponent starts shooting heavy bolters at you, and you're like, oh, still got 2-up saves. Sorry, buddy. I just wasted a whole bunch of high-powered shooting for nothing.
That's what happened. That's what happened to me at the tournament I went to. I went against an Ultramarines player, and it was just really awkward because the stuff that had AP, I was shooting at more important targets.
Yeah.
But then my Rangers were also strength 4 guns, mind you. Can't kill a single Primaris model because, there's no AP on it, buddy. I have a 3-up save.
That's the dumbest thing ever.
Yeah,
Why?
But I mean, just getting an army-wide ignoring -1. So, auto cannons that normally are strength 7, AP -1, damage 2, are really good at taking out Primaris. Generally, again, Salamanders just became a whole lot less effective.
Cal has some weapons like that where there's just AP -1 flat 2 damage, yeah.
Yeah.
I think the problem though with autocannons as a whole, and this is how I felt about autocannons since the beginning of 8th edition, is the fact that they're AP1. It's just so mind-boggling. They're like 4 shots or 7 shots depending on which autocannon you're using. They're all strength 7. But
Not if you're Space Marines, then it's AP -2, turn 1.
sure, but like the point I'm trying to make is it's AP1 on a strength 7 2 damage weapon.
Yeah, but it's generally a 10-point weapon. So it's not an expensive upgrade
Not
in most
really.
cases,
But-
and it is good shooting.
But if you think about it, it's just so weird because all the autocannons I've ever seen are these long-barreled rifles that look like they're going to like wreak havoc.
Yeah, they are strength 7. I mean, they have punching power.
But like, imagine hitting with it and you're wounding with it. Okay, cool. But that's AP1. You tell me that punching power just like, oh, sorry, it's a tank. I'm sorry, buddy. I can't get through this tank. I'm not damaging it.
Yeah, but I mean, if you think about it this way, because you have at minimum 2 shots doing 4 damage, so one of them goes through 2 damage every time. Or you're shooting a heavy bolter as your alternative, which is strength 5, AP -1 damage, and they're almost the same point value.
But you see what I'm trying to say? I feel like I just don't like how autocannons are AP1. I get that heavy bolters are 10 points cheaper. Right, cool. I understand that. It just feels so weird thinking that autocannons just have AP1 instead of AP2.
Yeah, I prefer autocannon. I've always really liked autocannons. If I'm playing Imperial Guard, I normally load up with as many autocannons as I can fit in a list because I think that they're a very effective way of shooting and they're an effective way of punching through armor.
But they don't punch through armor.
They do punch through armor.
I've
Yes.
seen it.
It's the strength 7 damage 2 that's what I mean. Even at AP -1 as Marines, all of a sudden you have a 50% chance of failing. One bad throw of rolls and you just took 8 damage on your whatever Rhino and you got 2 wounds left from 1 round of
I
shooting.
mean, it's just a math game, and you go from a 33% chance of failing to a 50% chance of failing.
I know, it's just, I don't know, maybe I'm just spoiled because my plasma, my caverns are AP3.
Yeah, but it's a D6 shots. It's a variable. You could be shooting 1 shot at AP -3 where I'm getting a consistent 4 shots every
Oh,
round.
no. You don't think you understand. I have 9 of those robots. I'm throwing 9 D6 shots at that thing.
Okay.
Minimum 9 shots. I took out 2 knights in 1 turn once.
Yeah.
Because I split fired them.
But at the same, you turn that right around. Autocannons into your destroyers are going to rip right through them at strength 7. They're wounding you on 3s. AP -1, you're making 4-up saves at best. I don't know if their armor is any better than 3-up.
It's 4 up.
It's 4-up normally, so you're making saves on 5-up, so you have a 33% chance
But
of
I also get
success.
+1 to cover.
Well, still 5-up back to 4-ups then, and you're still getting wrecked.
But I outraged you.
But
right?
your
Your
autocannons are 48.
Alright. Alright.
Yeah,
Silence comes from over here.
exactly.
Autocannons for the win.
I really like autocannons. And now I don't know how we switched to autocannon chat, but now we're an autocannon channel. Autocannons and orc boys and shooters. That's it. That's how it goes. We're developing. We're evolving over here. We're
Wait.
learning more about us.
Wait. Orcs.
Shooters.
With autocannons.
Oh my goodness.
Made from shooters.
Oh my goodness.
Oh.
That's it. Oh, my goodness.
man. But yes, back to the original topic at hand.
Uh-huh.
Tau aren't fun to play against.
They are
It depends.
fun to play. I like playing
It
against Tau.
depends.
I think Tau crumble, and that's the thing is they have good shooting, but they're.
Even the shooting is not that great though.
I mean, it's guard shooting. They're effectively guard with stronger weapons. That's
Yep.
all they are. They cost more points, so you're going to get less of them, but they do have more effective weapons. I think Tau versus guard win every time.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
I think
100%.
anyone versus Tau, they win every time.
No, Tau
No.
is strong.
It's a morale victory.
It is.
The fact that I'm not playing Tau means I've won the game.
Yeah.
Space Marines crumble under Tau. I've seen it so many times. Those
Well, that's
strength
just-
5 weapons.
It's
Well,
just
not-
you're outnumbering.
Yeah.
And that's the problem. And it doesn't matter if I have a 3-up armor save. If I have to make 33-up armor saves,
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
gonna lose my squad of 5 guys or 10
Oh, yeah.
guys every time.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's it's just crazy. Space Marines are in such a good spot. Honestly, I was really excited for that new Second Awakening trailer because
Black Templars.
Black Templars, and
We're
we're gonna
get some love.
We're gonna wait till next week to talk about that because I think Alex has some a lot of input about that. That guy has bought so much Black Templar stuff from eBay the past few months. He came up to me the other day. He's like, "Hey Nick, look at this! I just bought this $500 Black Templar army."
Oh my God.
I'm like, Jesus.
He's super excited.
He
What I'm
loves
most
Black
excited,
Templars.
what I'm most
Black
excited about
Templars.
it is that they're finally done with all those guys. They're now going to start moving on to the Dark Angels. Nobody cares about those, but Blood Angels, Space Wolves.
I'm super
Oh, sorry. The edgy chapters. You're correct.
Shut up.
Yes, the edgy chapters.
All right, everyone. That's all the time we have for this week. Thank you for following. Thank you for watching or / reading our podcast or listening. Wow, I had 3 choices to go there, and I messed up.
You picked the wrong 2.
Good lord.
Well, thank you very much, guys. We'll all see you all next week. This has been Nicholas Wynn,
Matthew Essington.
Felipe.
and we will see you guys next week.
Bye.